The season hasn't even started, Matt Taylor, and you're already laughing.
I'm just excited to be here. Real honor to be here with you guys and talk a little bit about football. And
you're our first Friday guest ever.
I do feel special. Thank you. Thank you. It's something I've really strived for, to be a Friday guest. I mean, I know it's kind of a real unique situation to get me on here, but
All right, how's your summer going?
Pretty well, staying busy, getting geared up for some football season, and just. What do you say? I've got 3 kids, and
I was going to
keep me busy.
How's the wife? How's the kids?
They seem to be doing all right, I guess. When I checked in with them last week, they were all right.
Let me give you a little bit of some insight. When I actually was going through my photos and some of my videos, I got to last season's some of the football games. I'm telling you, I've never had more fun broadcasting than with Matt and with Jeremy Hyde. There was one game. I did a video post game, and we're broadcasting the post game show like normal. But the stuff we were doing off the air, we had so much fun last year, and I honestly had a blast with you guys.
It was a lot of fun. We have a really good time.
We do
describing football and getting to know players, coaches, and everybody. It's just a lot of fun.
You learn more about the coaches. And
really learn more about yourself. You Justin, Jeremy. Yeah, we've learned a lot.
I learned what I need to. I got a checklist now. I won't carry every game, so we don't get to Good Hope and forget the sound mixer.
That's important, Justin.
So Jeremy Hyde has to get it right into the computer and describe what happened in the last play.
Yeah.
So it was a rainy night that night, and the balls were really wet. So, but we had a lot of fun last year. But looking forward to this season with Oneonta. New region this year for them. Staying in 4A. The Locust Fork and JB Pennington dropped down to 3A, so they don't have to play them in region play. But Oneonta, man, they lose Co Powell. They lose Zach DeMock. That's 2, I think, of the biggest losses on the team.
Yeah, Riley Cole too.
Yeah, Riley Cole.
But anytime you lose two guys that were proven quarterbacks, and they were not necessarily interchangeable. They both had their strengths, but they were proven quarterbacks, and the coach could really rely on them to go out there and carry the team, no matter which one went out there. And then the other one was valuable in the backfield at a wide receiver spot, who knew the offense. So just a big loss from an offensive standpoint, losing 2 guys that you could really trust.
Early on in the season, Oneonta starts out 4-1. Mm-hmm. They had that win against Locust Fork, 62-0, and then they start playing some a little bit tougher teams. They ended up playing Priceville, losing that one by a couple of touchdowns. Depth really started to become a concern there in the second half of that season.
It really did. Some injuries kind of caused a late season skid for Oneonta. Still able to make the playoffs. But like you said, just some offensive line losses, people getting banged up, and just not enough depth at key positions to where they could just plug somebody in. So a tough ending of the year last year for Oneonta after they showed a lot of promise early.
Losing some of those guys from last year, Copal, your quarterback, who's some of the guys y'all expect to step up on offensive, defensive side of the ball this season?
Well, one guy I'm really excited about who really blossomed, at least from my vision in the press box last year, was Marquette White. He real explosive on kick returns, explosive with the ball on his hands in offense. And he also got back Jaden Kent, who was just a freshman last year, but a solid freshman, bigger than almost anybody else on the field. And at the wide receiver spot, he's very physical. And also he played some linebacker last year too. So I really expect a lot from Jaden Kent this year. We got Kevin Krim coming back, a guy that just did a lot of stuff for the Redskins last year, and a host of offensive linemen. We'll want to talk a little bit about those guys. We had Mike Brooks returning, Andrew Bean returning, Trey Thomason returning, Chad Hughes returning, and Tyler Studdard returning. Each of those 5 guys saw a lot of playing time last year.
That's huge.
So they should be in good shape, at least on the first 5 on both sides of the line.
Region play this year, we talked a little bit about it. They don't have to play Priceville. This year, they're picking up some tough teams. Cherokee County is expected to do really good with so many starters back for them. Jacksonville, Hoax Bluff, Anniston. What do you expect to see out of the region this year?
Well, I think it's a new region for most everybody. A lot of these teams have come into this region, so they're not used to playing each other per se. But But let's just go through some of the teams in the region with winning records last year, like Cherokee County, like you said, a team with a lot of youngsters. Cherokee County, they were 6-4 last year. They made it to the second round of the playoffs. You got Jacksonville, who made it to the first round of the playoffs last year. They were 6-4. Sachs, 8-2 last year, and they made it to the first round of the playoffs. So,
that's always a team that they've always got so much speed and so much talent, year in, year out.
Absolutely. Some of these teams like Cherokee County, Sachs, and Anniston, you think about you hear those names, you think about good football programs in the recent past. Something to be concerned about. And so it's just a new dynamic, but it's new for them too. I mean, Oneonta's been good in the recent past as well.
Yeah.
So at least. They're going to have a tougher road and get to know some new coaches, new styles of offense this year.
And not only will the region be tough and new, but I'm looking at the non-region games as well, which I know in the grand scheme of things don't count for you going to the playoffs or anything, but it helps you to prepare to get to the playoffs. I know Coach, I'm sure, is scheduled that way, but Guntersville opening up is a tough game. You get Susan Moore in the middle of the year, who will be much improved. And then a Piedmont team, again, at the end of the year, who is just always great.
Right. Won the state championship last year. Really just a bookend of great teams. Guntersville was undefeated in the regular season last year. Piedmont was 9-1.
Yeah.
And like I said, state champion. And then you got Susan Moore, who didn't have a great record last year. They were 4-6, but toward the end of the year, they were as good as anybody.
Yes.
Really bought into Coach Ken Adams' play and his style of play. Just a tough teams and tough non-region games. So if Oneonta can navigate this schedule and remain healthy, they stand a good chance to be tested going into the playoffs.
One thing I've always found intriguing is especially over the past decade, maybe a little bit longer, is Oneonta is always in the mix of things. They've had several state title runs, and the expectations are always high for Oneonta to do well and win games, and I'm sure that won't change as long as Don Jacobs is there going into the 7th season. But talk about just each and every year the expectations for Oneonta football.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you nailed it. You said it. The expectations of the fans, the players, the students, everybody expects Oneonta to make the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
And I heard a little bit about media days, and Don Jacobs said this year that the expectation is to make the playoffs, and as long as you make the playoffs, you have a chance.
Got a chance.
And then, and again, as we've talked about, navigating this schedule, even if you don't have a great record, but navigating this tough schedule, they'll be battle tested if they get in there.
Absolutely.
Do you have time to stay on for one more segment?
Absolutely.
Coming back, let's talk some Auburn football with you.
Okay.
So I know you're a little bit of an Auburn fan.
A little.
I don't know why, but did you hear my
masochistic is the word you're looking for.
Did you hear my guarantee earlier?
No, I didn't. I missed that.
I'll tell you next segment what it was.
All
it was
right.
good. It was good. We'll be right back after this.